Hello and welcome to the special broadcast on DD India, New Zealand versus India T20 series. India's final rehearsal before the T20 World Cup begins with a high-voltage 5-match series against the most unpredictable rivals, New Zealand. The Kiwis have already rewritten history with the Test and ODI series wins on Indian soil. Now they eye the final frontier, a full T20 series victory in India. With both the teams close to full strength, familiar pressure points and the memories of Nagpur 2016 still fresh, this contest promises intrigue, intensity and answer ahead of the T20 World Cup. On DD India, this is the big build-up, setting the stage for a thrilling series. So let's get started. India's final preparations for the ICC T20 World Cup 26 begin with a 5-match T20 series against New Zealand, starting with the opening match in Nagpur today. After 2-1 defeat in the ODI series, Team India, led by Suryakumar Yadav, will aim to bounce back in the shortest format. New Zealand arrive with confidence after achieving several firsts over the past year, including the Test series whitewash and the first ever bilateral ODI series win in India. Now the visitors look to script another milestone in the T20 cricket as well. India's final preparations for the ICC T20 World Cup begins with a high-intensity 5-match T20 series against New Zealand. The opening match of the series will be played in Nagpur on Wednesday. After the conclusion of the ODI series, where New Zealand clinched 2-1 victory, the focus now shifts to the shortest format of the game. For Team India, this series offers a chance to bounce back and regain momentum ahead of the global tournament. Led by Suryakumar Yadav, India see this series as the last major opportunity to fine-tune combination as players form and settle crucial selection questions before the World Cup, which begins on February 7 in India and Sri Lanka. New Zealand, captained by Mitchell Santner, will field the full-strength T20 squad. With proven performers like Devon Conway, Glenn Phillips, Daryl Mitchell, Rachin, Ravindra and Ish Sodhi, the visitors will keen to build on the recent success and challenge India on their home turf. India, however, have suffered injury setbacks ahead of the series. Washington Sundar has been ruled out of all 5 matches due to side strain, while Tilak Verma is set to miss the opening 3 games. As replacement, the selectors have recalled Suresh Iyer and leg spinner Ravi Bishnoi. For Suresh Iyer, this marks a return to T20 International after more than a year, while Ravi Bishnoi adds depth and attacking variety to the India spin department alongside Kuldeep Yadav and Varun Chakravarti. Several key questions will shape India's approach in the series. Can Sanju Samson continue as India's preferred opener, who claims middle order spot? Tilak Verma absent. Suresh Iyer or Ishan Kishan? Can captain Suryakumar Yadav rediscover his best form at a crucial phase? And in the lower order, does India back Rinku Singh's finishing prowess or Shivam Dube's all-round utility? With most of their T20 World Cup combination already in place, India enters the series with stability, but with important issues still to resolve. For New Zealand, the series represents an opportunity to test themselves against defending champions. For India, it is about clarity, confidence and momentum. 5 matches, 1 final rehearsal. The road to the ICC T20 World Cup 2026 starts here. Narayan Singh for DD India. So it's going to be a high voltage series between the two teams, and now let's take a look at the key players from both the sides. First from the India, and first is Suryakumar Yadav. If you take a look at 8 innings, he has scored 284 runs and the highest score is 111, average 47.33 with a strike rate of 153.51, 1 century and 1 half century. The records against the West Indies team. Suresh Iyer, in 11 innings he has scored 225 runs, his highest score is 58, the average is 25 and the strike rate is 124. And talking about the Hardik Pandya has scored in 12 innings 173 runs and strike rate is 116. And batting average is 19.22 and the wickets he has taken is also shown here in the graphics. And Jasprit Bumrah, 10 matches, 12 wickets and best figures 3 for 12 and best bowling average is 19.33. And talking about our next batter, that is Shivam Dube, 5 innings, 41 runs, strike rate is 116.89, batting average 117, 2 wickets, and best figures 1 for 16. So these were the figures of the Indian players who will be the key for India in this vital series against the New Zealand before the T20 World Cup that will be played in India. Now let's take a look at the stats of the New Zealand team. Devon Conway, in 66 innings he has scored 150 runs, highest score is 59. His average is 30 and strike rate not up to the mark, 119. 0.04, and he has scored 2 half centuries. He's going to be the key man for the New Zealand. Daryl Mitchell, the tormentor-in-chief for India in the ODI series. In 14 innings, he has scored 241 runs. His high score is 59 and the average is 20.08. He scored with a strike rate of 133.88. He scored 1 half century against India. Glenn Phillips, in 9 innings, he has scored 135 runs. High score is 54 and average is 15, and the strike rate is 117.39, and he has scored 150 against India. And Santner's record against India, in 21 innings he has taken 18 wickets. His figures in bowling figures are 4 for 11 and his bowling average is 29, and with an economy rate of 6.96, and Santner will be the key for New Zealand against India in this series. And Michael Bracewell, if you take a look, his innings, 3 innings, 23 runs, strike rate is 71.87, and he has taken 4 wickets as best bowling figures are 2 for 31 against India in the T20. So New Zealand have pulled off series wins over India in India for the first time in Tests and ODIs in a span of just over a year. Can they pull off the first in a proper T20 series too? To break down all the big talking points of this high voltage opener, we are joined by senior sports journalist Vimal Kumar, a voice that brings experience, insight and perspective to the biggest moment in the Indian cricket. Vimal, a very warm welcome on the show, and talking about this is the last bilateral series before the T20 World Cup. How crucial is the 5-match series contest for the India before the mega tournament?
First of all, thank you so much, Narayan, and it's good to once again be present on your show. I think, as you just pointed it out, it's a very crucial series in terms of if you look at just the moment the series gets over, India will go to Bombay and they will start playing warm-up game, and then the World Cup starts in a week's time. And normally maybe because if you look at India's record post 2020 World Cup, they won in West Indies. They have lost just 5 games. They have won 24. So that's a formidable. The combination has been set. Everything is, in order. There is no worry. But what has happened across the format? You talk about Test series. You talk about ODI series. Some big names. India lost some series like against South Africa and Test series. Then ODI series against New Zealand. So that obviously has put some pressure on the Indian team. Although it was refreshing to see Suryakumar Yadav being undaunted by all these talks. So he jokingly avoided all these things. Oh, Test series loss, that was a decade back, and all that kind of stuff. In fact, he also he was dismissive of his own form because he knows what I know. Surya, that is the public posting as a captain. He doesn't want to show himself under pressure. But that is the one thing I think. If you look at the clarity in this format under Captain Suryakumar Yadav, that's quite remarkable, because normally you see till the last moment, till the toss, everyone says who will play, Shreyas Iyer or Ishan Kishan. But just 24 hours before the game, Suryakumar Yadav said no. Ishan Kishan will be the number 3 because he's the replacement for in the next few games. Tilak Verma, because he's a top order bat. He's the part of the ODI World Cup team. So he should get the ideal opportunity because he has been away from the cricket. Not Shreyas Iyer, even though Shreyas Iyer is a senior guy. So that kind of clarity, the clarity has also come in terms of India tried the failed experiment where they tried to push Shubman Gill to the opener's role, vice captain. Now they decided and they knew that it was not working out. And you must give credit to the selectors, to coach, captain. Just before the World Cup start, they have realized, okay, this is not working. Let's go to let's go back to what was working for us. So what was working for them? Sanju
Right.
Samson and Abhishek Sharma. This is a devastating pair in the world. If you look at, I think along with Australian pair of Travis Head, with the Australian pair, they are the most dangerous, opening batsman, because you never know what will happen in the power play. So the opening combination, the challenge for India is, can Sanju Samson and Abhishek Verma find the same kind of rhythm which they had? They terrorized everyone before Shubman Gill started
Right,
opening with
Vimal.
Abhishek Sharma.
Right, as you mentioned, the clarity is there in the mind of the captain, in the mind of the management. The way 24 hours back they said that Ishan Kishan will be there, not Suresh Iyer. Talking about the Nagpur, Nagpur has one of the biggest outfields among the Indian venues. Often has something in it for the spinners, even with the wide in the white ball cricket too. So how you look India's bowling combination, because we have multiple spin options. Ravi Bishnoi is there, Kuldeep is there, Varun is there, Axar is there. So what's your opinion on the India's bowling combination?
I think, see, there are two bowlers. Ideally, in World Cup, if you talk about World Cup, the four bowlers who must be in your playing 11: Jasprit Bumrah, Varun Chakravarti, Kuldeep Yadav, and Arshdeep Singh. These four bowlers has to be in your playing 11 in the World Cup. The point is, do you want to exhaust all these four players? No. Do you want to overexpose them, like someone like Varun Chakravarti? Can India hold? Because maybe in the 5 games, Varun Chakravarti might play 1 or 2 games. So can they rotate Varun and Kuldeep? They must rotate Kuldeep, because Kuldeep has been a champion bowler. But in the last series, the way New Zealand batsmen, especially the Kiwi batsman, attacked him. So can they just rest Kuldeep for a couple of games and then just try Ravi Bishnoi? Because obviously in World Cup, India will obviously go with the best 11, which Kuldeep Yadav will be there. So cool. So these are the questions they should try to, or will they focus on, no, no, let's first of all take the series, at least take the 2-1 lead or 3-0 lead, then we will experiment in the last 2 games. I think India needs to be bold, because whatever experimentation they want to do, they can do only in this series, and maybe the first few games in the first round. After that, there are knockout games. So what I sense, maybe Kuldeep Yadav might be rested. They might try Ravi Bishnoi in today's game. Varun Chakravarti, I don't see him playing all the 5 games. Similarly, I don't see Jasprit Bumrah playing all the 5 games, and he should not. Ideally, India should try to utilize Jasprit Bumrah at best. Someone like Arshdeep Singh, who has been lacking his rhythm, match game practice, he can go on to play out of maybe 5 games, out of 3 or 4 games. Then there is a question of Harshit Rana, who has been regular in all the formats. So how much India wants to expose Harshit Rana at the crew, because he is going to be the crucial factor. Number 8, bowler batsman. So these are the questions. But I believe at least India will not be going with their best World Cup 11 in this game.
You're right. Too much we can say that options for the selectors here, even the number 8 where Harshit will be there or the Shivam Dubey, it is also remains to be seen. We will see after the toss. But talking about it, India have been a dominant in the T20 since the 2024 World Cup. They have the record of 29-5. But New Zealand remain a tricky opponent. What makes the Kiwis such a difficult team for the India across formats?
I think that they have been the bogey team for India for a long time. You look at 2019 World Cup semi-final. Everyone fancied that India were an overwhelming favorite. You look at WTC final 2021, where India was supposed to win the game and become world champion, but it was New Zealand who won the WTC final. You look at India's record in New Zealand, like since 2009, India have not won a test series there. So New Zealand has always posed challenge. The only thing is that we don't talk much about New Zealand as we talk about other SENA countries like Australia or England or South Africa. So and this team, if you look at from the, if you compare the T20 side, this is a better team if you compare from the ODI side, because Ish Sodhi is back, Mitchell Santner is back, Rachin Ravindra is there. And let's not forget, in this World Cup cycle, India has lost just 5 games. New Zealand also hasn't lost too many. They have lost just 7 games. They've also won 15 games. in comparison to Indian side. They have played lesser games, but you look at the only seven loss post 2024 World Cup speaks volumes about their strength.
Well, definitely, as you mentioned that in the recent time they were like a bogey team for the Indian team the way have they perform. But with Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, and Axar Patel are back, does this side look like a strongest possible 11 for the T20 World Cup? Considering the fact that we lost, we don't have some key players in the ODI. Was that a factor, or do you think that here definitely we are going to change that thing in the T20s?
I think one can always argue key players like Hardik was missing, Akshar Patel was missing in ODI series, Jasprit Bumrah was not there. But we can't argue because New Zealand were missing bigger players. They in fact they just decided that this was the series where they were going to rest key players because of injury. They wanted to do workload management. India must be shocked. Indians are shocked the way they lost this series. But when you look at this T20 side, it is such an unviable side. You look at such a formidable depth in this team. Like every time India goes, they will have the bowling option of six players like Hardik Pandya and Akshar Patel. These are the two bowlers who can give you 4 overs each. They can bowl 2 overs, 3 overs. They can bowl in the power play. They can bowl in the middle over, whatever, and they can float as a batsman. Hardik obviously can bat anywhere, 4, 5, 6, 7. If needed, he can be sent up. Akshar Patel, he has shown that he can bat any position. So these two all rounders, then obviously four champion bowler, as I told you, Arshdeep Singh, Jasprit Bumrah, Kuldeep Yadav, and Varun Chakravarti. Those four bowlers, like 16 overs, it will be tough for any team, especially in these conditions. So I think in terms of bowling attack, India's strength is like four bowlers, and then you mix it up with Hardik and Akshar. Six bowling option, and at the top you look at Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson. Tilak is not there. If Tilak comes or Ishan, almost they are as good as, and then Surya Kumar Yadav. So the only player like you should be concerned about is Surya Kumar Yadav, who has been India's top batsman over the years. Number one batsman, he's the captain. So the only thing which at this moment Indian team is like maybe they are worried about, or they will be worried about, is the form of the captain. Because leading up to the World Cup, Surya Kumar Yadav has to find form. He has to get runs. He was brave. He did not let show that pressure in the press conference, but all along he knows that, and he spoke about all this thing. The team is doing well, but as a captain, he it will help his confidence. It will help his team that Surya gets some run under his belt before the real matches starts in Mumbai.
Definitely, the real match will start in Mumbai when the T20 World Cup will start. But talking about the New Zealand team, Tim Robinson and Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell, we know what kind of cricket he has played in the ODI format against India. So, overall, how you look this New Zealand team? Looking more strong, contender for the T20 World Cup too?
They will be definitely. Obviously, if you compare from India, maybe on paper they don't look like they are going to pose serious challenges. Although it may sound ridiculous, especially the same kind of conversation every pundit did before the Test series lost last year and the ODI series. So much so that I remember having a conversation with Ravichandran Ashwin, India's legendary spinner, and he had told me that it will be a series win for New Zealand if they won just one game in the ODI series. And when they won 2-1, I asked about his prediction, and he said that this is not a 2-1 victory, this is 5-0 for New Zealand. So you can imagine that kind of comparison. So New Zealand number four at this point of time, ICC ranking, India number one. So on paper, man to man, India looks very superior. But with New Zealand, we know that it does not matter whether India looks formidable on paper, whether the record that India has never lost a T20 series. All this thing doesn't count for anything, because New Zealand is a team which has been shocking Indian teams. Not surprising. they must be charged up. They, because this will be like iconic moment for New Zealand cricket. They have won in the 12 months. If they managed to win this T20 series, they would have won the Test series, ODI series, and the T20 series. This is a unique, victory in all formats, which I don't think any international team has achieved that. So that will be something a first, and New Zealand will be motivated to do that. A team which is coming to India on Indian soil, despite not being at their best in terms of resources, and yet defeating India in all these formats, I think you have to salute. So that will be something they will try to do the encore.
Vimal, if you are talking about this Indian team, as you mentioned, that one of the strongest, their record itself talk about their performance in the after the T20 World Cup in June 2024 they won. They have an exceptional record, 29 wins and 5 losses. So what has made this team a near invincible team? Talking about, if you take a look, veterans are not there. We have a new captain, Surya Kumar Yadav, for this format. So what special, what's the thing that is making this team very special?
I think there are two things. The philosophy what Rohit Sharma instilled during the 2022 World Cup. Although India did not win the 2022 World Cup, but the intent to go hard. They wanted to win the World Cup in Australia. They failed in the semi-final. The template has been changed. They wanted to go berserk from the very beginning. It happened in 2023 World Cup. Then they did the same in 2024 World Cup, despite being under pressure. And this team, especially the emergence of Abhishek Sharma, I think Abhishek Sharma is going to be the poster boy of the World Cup. A lot is expected. Someone like Sanju Samson, in almost he has a decade-long career when he made his debut. He hasn't played too many games for India, but still, he is being seen as a match winner, and probably for many players, this could be the last World Cup. So these formidable players who go from the word go. So terrific opening partnership. Then in the middle over, you have attacking batsmen like Tilak Verma, Suryakumar Yadav. So I think that's the biggest strength. And moreover, most importantly, which India has been blessed, like the bowling attack. Like you look at Varun Chakravarti, he's a different kind of mystery spinner. You look at Kuldeep Yadav, he's a different kind of China man. So much variety, experience. You look at Arshdeep Singh, a left arm pacer, swings the ball both ways, deadly at that depth, takes the opening wicket. Bumrah, we don't have to talk about Bumrah. So once you have all these four bowlers, champion bowlers, your 16 overs are in the bank. You are not worried about that. And then you add someone like Hardik Pandya and Axar Patel, who could any day will give you 8 overs, and you don't need those 8 overs from Hardik. And if needed, although India will not require that, if needed, Abhishek Sharma and Tilak Verma can bowl the part-time off spin, 2 overs each. So I think overall, if you look at we haven't spoken about the all-rounder, one slot, whether you play Harshit Rana or Shivam Dubey or Rinku Singh will be there. So all in all, if you look at this team is like, I don't know, man to man, this looks very, very superior side.
Definitely, as you said, the man-to-man, the team is looking invincible, a very strong team. But definitely, the way we lost the Test series and also the ODI series, definitely we can take some learnings from those defeats, so that we should not bow down to New Zealand in this crucial T20 series ahead of the T20 World Cup that will took place in India and Sri Lanka from the next month. Thanks, Vimal, for joining us and giving a valuable perspective on this T20 series between India and New Zealand. So that's all from us on the show, and my thanks to our guest Vimal Kumar for joining us and sharing his insight. Stay tuned to DD India for all the updates. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.